following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
Everyone go buy a lottery ticket ASAP right now. Today's your lucky day. That's just the truth. The Canucks beat the Devils, the lottery line, aka the lotto line. That feels good, man. That's a Saturday night. Let's get into it.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Okay. Another episode of Locked On Canucks. My name is Kyle Bowen. Trevor Beggs, not with us. You know the deal, right? This is the home of the West Coast bias, but it's also the home of a father, and Trevor Beggs. I don't know how he does it, but he cares about his family more than he cares about you. He's known the Canucks way longer than he's known his family. And he's choosing, in my opinion, not to be loyal. Jokes aside, one love to Beggsy and one love to the Vancouver Canucks. I think we got to give them a lot of credit for telling us to, what's the word? Shut the F up. Because every time I feel as if this team is looking a little like last year, there's a lot of noise. A lot of noise. It's coming from guys like us. I'm not going to lie. I'm still traumatized from those past Canucks teams. And there we had the same team lose against the St. Louis Blues and look kind of boring. And there was the whole talk about PDO, the whole talk about this team constantly getting lucky. And because of it, it created some sort of confusion. Some sort of, are you sure about this team? Some sort of, oh, how about Kuzmenko? This team cannot have Mikheyev, Lafferty, Pius Suter, B. Staples in their top six. This team is not this team. Regression is on the horizon, but constantly this team does the most to get a dub, to figure it out ASAP, being resilient, and that's why this year is different. Speaking of which, before we get into the lotto line, let's talk about that third line. It's about those starts. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Garland himself had like 3 shots in the first 5 minutes of the game. Blueger, Joshua, Garland. Another big reason why this is very different. They're one of the best third lines in hockey behind a team that has a lot of superstars. Could have the most all-stars in the lineup in Toronto. I know it doesn't matter, but hey, again, this team has superstars and one of the best third lines in hockey. That's just the truth. Is this the line, though? Callum? What are we calling this guy? Callum Dollywall? Callum Sadu? Loves Surrey more than anyone? He's calling that third line the Joshua 3. They doing it. Garland, big goal. And that wasn't an easy goal. That's one of those goals, that wraparound goal on the rush late in the third after the Devils scored a goal. That's one of the goals that only the best of the best can do. And right now, Connor Garland, for a very long time through the last 30 games of the season, he's been one of the best 5 Canucks. That's just the truth. The Canucks can't get rid of one of their best players. He's a really good hockey player. The data, right? The nerds. They love Connor Garland. They've been loving him for years. He's always been a good hockey player. And right now, he's not only really good, but he's really effective, a.k.a. a big reason why we're winning games. And it was only fitting that Joshua relieved the panic, right? Now we're talking late in the third. The Canucks almost blowing a 3-goal lead in a game they dominated. Again, the pessimism, the trauma. These are not these Canucks. It was there. But Joshua, after taking a penalty, fights off every single devil from hell and scores a goal in the empty net. But nonetheless, it wasn't fitting because that line deserves the most. Speaking of the line, the lotto line. I'm saying it again. Buy a lottery ticket. It could be you. Yo, what are you buying? if you win the lottery. Now, somebody was saying the other day, now I can't watch the show. Kyle's always wearing sunglasses. Little does this guy know that I'm practicing, okay? I'm practicing. Preparation, right? I got to meet the moment with preparation. Eventually, I'm going to get laser eye surgery. So let me be. Where am I going with this? The lotto line. Doing its thing. Back together for the first time in a very long time. And the biggest reason why the Canucks dominate the Devils. I know the score was 6-4, but it was a complete domination. That line did it all. I feel as if they had over 12, 13 points. Hey, this is not a fact show, okay? I don't got the numbers in front of me. It's a one-man show right now. But I'm pretty sure they put up over 12 points. 4.5 goals. They were doing their thing. And it's a beautiful thing because on top of this team, again, having the best third line in hockey, they need to remind the world ASAP that, again, they have superstars. And these superstars on this team for like 20 games have been, I'm not going to say boring, but far from complete. Now, I don't know if the lotto line is going to continue for a very long time. It's hard for me to see this team go forward with Pius Suter as their second line center. Although he's been damn near a perfect hockey player, I still don't see it. This being said, having those guys together right now to ignite the offense, not only within those three guys, but a guy like Quinn Hughes is huge. Because this team does need a spark. I know. Again, winners of 9 of 13, 9 of 12. And I'm saying they need a spark. I'm just saying. There's so much room for this team to improve. And it really is on the backs of those really good guys. Those all-stars. Firing on all cylinders. And it's been kind of average since late November. Again, the standard is high. The standard was historic. And we saw it early on. And in the past, we've seen it within these players. JT Miller. He's a point getter. EP40. One of the best players in the universe. Quinn Hughes, the MVP in the NHL right now. Those guys can do historic things. Then you got Brock Boeser, a complete player, an elite goal scorer. There's so much room for this team to grow and be entertained. Remember, for weeks and weeks, actually, it goes back all the way to the summer. We've been saying it, man. If all goes right, the Canucks could actually win the cup because they're an interesting team. They're a fascinating team. Okay, we said that before. Rutherford said, hey, if all goes right, this team can make the playoffs. Let's get back to these comments, okay? They call it the lifeline. Potato Billy, man. What a name. Potato Billy. The lifeline. I kind of like the Joshua 3. Dakota Joshua, man, he's proven me so wrong. Turning into a complete player, possibly turning into a player that the Canucks cannot afford in a couple of months. And I got to bring it up, right? I said, buy a lottery ticket, okay? Shoot for the stars. I got to bring this up again. The Canucks, Stanley Cup champions. Maybe in a couple months. Tell you what, though, a lot of their players that are playing really good are UFAs. People keep talking about the Pettersson contract and the Hronek contract. Look, there's a lot of players again who are playing way above their value. All those guys aren't coming back. Do you lean into the depth, right? Some of the best depth in hockey right now to think about, again, doing the most, and that's winning the cup. Because those types of players down there in the lineup, playing at that level, those types of guys help you win cups. The Canucks, man, doing their thing. Unbelievable. We're going to keep the Saturday episode short, okay? Yo, it is what it is. I'm not even supposed to be here. Trevor, again, not with us, being a family man first. I'm going to make this quick. Let's go through the comments and get out of here again. The Canucks, man, doing their thing. The lottery line returns. Can it sustain? Tell me in the comments below. Do you see this thing actually lasting a very long time? For me, it's hard to believe. Look at Angelo. Angelo is one of the best What do we say? Mother fathers on the show, okay? The lotto line. Finally, they have listened. Rick Tocchet listening to the people. I don't know. And to be honest, I don't really hear a lot of lotto line talk over the past couple weeks of, again, pessimism, confusion, even though the team's been winning games. People holding on to trauma, not entirely convinced that the Canucks are legit. When that was happening, a lot of people talking, but I don't think a lot of people were crying for Tocchet to put the lotto line back together. And there he did it on a Saturday night, and it really, really worked. Raj, let's go. Go where? Go where? If I win the lottery, I'm going back to Columbia. The Columbia Canucks. I'm bringing ice hockey to Columbia. You heard it here first. Columbia, man. The most beautiful place on earth. If I win the lottery, I'm going to Columbia and I'm living there for a year. This show will be produced out of Columbia. I think I'm part Colombian, man. Think about it. British Columbia and Columbia. You can't. You know when they say life's a simulation? Boom. Last comment goes to Callum Sandu, okay? Dump Kuzmenko. Dump Kuzmenko. Lekaramaki is coming. Yo. You might as well produce the show, man. Kuzmenko, how do I not talk about that guy? What a game. Had a lot of chances. Doing his thing. Tocchet, never, ever. Put Linus Karlsson, finally said his name right, in the lineup over Andrei Kuzmenko. That is insane. The data, man, the data. The nerds. I think the nerds, and I'm turning into one of them, I think they're the biggest reason why Kuzmenko continues to get scratched. Okay, everyone talks about the eye test and the defense and the blah, 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 and he was on for this many goals, blah, blah, blah. The data, also not friends with Kuzmenko. It's kind of easy to pick him out. Maybe in the boardroom when they make these types of decisions. Again, the data proves their point. But man, Andrei Kuzmenko, a guy that does, how do I say it again? He does things the data can't read, okay? In moments, he can just create chances, okay? I'm pretty sure the data can't pick up what Kuzmenko does that quickly, okay? He's hockey, man. Andrei Kuzmenko's too good at hockey. We talked about Connor Garland. You don't want to get rid of guys that are really good at hockey. And I just look at Kuzmenko's point totals this year, too. Look at the fact that, again, 39 goals last year. I don't think he's been that bad. Kuzmenko deserves the runway. We just saw the way this team can play, and that's quick. That's with a lot of attack. And Kuzmenko was going with Pius Suter, and I just feel as if the whole season, unless you can replace Kuzmenko and his potential on offense with somebody else, you got to give this guy the runway to find his game, to add more swagger to the team that's already feeling itself. Fix Kuzmenko. That's just the truth. Iruba. Yo, this guy's got the Aruba Nomless. What a name, okay? Lotto 649 back. Again, buy your tickets. Change your life. I'm going to get out of here. My name's Kyle Bowen. KYLEBHAWAN. Trevor Baggs. One love to you, man. Enjoy your Saturday night. Go to Blockbuster. Get a Slurpee. And shove 4 hot dogs in your mouth, okay? I know that's what you want to do. It's a Saturday night, okay? A mouthful of hot dogs? I think so for Trevor Baggs. Shout out to Locked On, the podcast network, doing the thing, your team every day. This right here, the home of the West Coast buys. Shout out to all the listeners. Shout out to Surrey, too. The future's always been there. RC Baines, when this guy makes his debut, free samosas for everyone in Surrey. That's just the truth. Have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good night. I don't know when you're going to listen to this, but hey, we appreciate it here at the Don't Doze Art Lab. Peace.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.